Well, it's basically confirmed. Spruce is definitely not the problem yet for Bliss after the back of their 7-5 victory over Rhythm. One game to go tonight, though. Chiefs versus Wildcard coming up very shortly. And Vast, you're going to be finally dissecting your former team as they head into this match. I just have to ask, are you excited for this one more than any of the others?
Yeah, I'm really excited to roast Digital. I mean, I used to do it all the time, and now, you know, I get paid to do it, so it's just such a good feeling.
You get paid? Whoa. Oh, jeez.
Jeez, he's on a better package than we are.
Guys, honestly, looking ahead already to this matchup for Wildcard, they had an awful start in APAC South. I'll be hoping that that doesn't happen again here tonight in OCN.
Yeah, an awful start to APAC South, and honestly, it's been a pretty awful year in general for Wildcard. They started off on the back foot when Diesel unfortunately departed quite suddenly. We had Silex jump in stage 1, he jumped out, Milo jumped in. There's been all kinds of jumping in and out, but no consistency. Worthy, though, on the side of Chiefs, has been consistent alongside the rest of his roster. I don't know why I singled out Worthy there, that was super weird. And they're not even consistent, because Ethan's jumped in. Vast, of course, washed up now on the caster desk, and Ethan with a lot of previous experience in Pro League dating back to the Atletico days, even further back than that. A lot to bring to this roster.
Vast, I know you're new to the broadcast and new to the desk, but we'll throw you in the deep end here. Have you got any clue about any of these guys on this roster?
Nah, I don't know. I don't really know them that well. Yeah, I mean, that Ethan guy seems all right.
That's true. That's a pretty good pickup.
I've heard a few decent things about Worthy.
Do you honestly think Ethan coming into this lineup should make them a better team than when they had Vast?
They've lost a lot of jokes, but yeah, I think ultimately they will be a better team in the long term.
That's nice to say. I gotta say, you're being too modest at the moment. Guys, I mean, the Chiefs, they're back-to-back champions. They're going for 3 in a row. They're riding an all-time high. They had a great start in APAC South as well yesterday with their 7-3 victory over Elevate. They broke that curse. Ethan's looking good without doing anything amazing as well, right? Like, he just seems like he's slotted in.
Yeah, last night was, I mean, it wasn't a loud performance, a quiet one. It was kind of just pretty modest. He got his job done. We did see him playing a little bit more of a support role. I can't remember the exact operators he was playing outside of Smoke, which is a little bit unusual for Ethan. I remember back in the day when he was playing for Wildcard, very frag heavy. He was the guy that he would send in on the Ashe, on the Jaeger. He was getting work done. So maybe now with Fast jumping out, he's kind of had to fulfill a little bit more of a support role. Again, keen to see how that transition continues. But yeah, across the board, Chiefs looking great. I can only guess they're going to continue to improve.
Their opponents for tonight, they're in red. It's Wildcard Gaming. They had a 7-1 loss in APAC South against the Knights. They are a team that has yet to make the playoffs in any way, shape, or form in Stage 1 or Stage 2. They will be looking to try and do so in this stage, but Vast, I think it's very unlikely that they're going to be favored to do so. Certainly a possibility, because when you look at these names, you look at this roster, and you look at these faces, except Molosca, this is a team that you would still back to find some form at some point and find a way into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, when you watch these guys play and you see them struggle, it's really a shame because they're really good players, and I think that they're at a point where they're just trying to figure out, you know, what's going wrong, and it seems like that it's taken a long time. They've, you know, brought in a coach in Rousty to maybe aid with that. Personally, I think I'm hoping that they've done some role changes from Stage 2, and it kind of looked like they have last night. I think putting Gio back on more of that role already looked a lot better. Yeah, I think there's still a lot of question marks with this team.
Guys, I'll get your thoughts on Wildcard here. Of course, Stage 1 was a complete write-off, right? Like, no expectations were put on Wildcard to do anything in Stage 1. Stage 2 was a sort of development stage. Molosca came in, did some really good things. Stage 3, though, obviously not off to a great start in APAC South. To be fair, they did play Knights, who are, you know, APAC South champions. But there's no more, I guess, we'll say excuses is probably the word.
Yeah, Stage 3 is... I don't think we can emphasize just how critical this stage really is. Wildcard, no joke, are at a really serious threat of making relegations, right? It's basically a 2-horse race between them and Rhythm. Whoever has the better stage 3 will avoid relegations. Rhythm, unfortunately, didn't pick up any points tonight, so that's a leg up to Wildcard. If they sneak something here, then they already have the advantage. But, yeah, Wildcard need to undergo even more improvement. It slowly did start to see that in stage 2. I think, as Vast mentioned, some role change-ups are probably well advised. If they can pull that off throughout stage 3, it could pay dividends. I don't think we're going to see it necessarily pay dividends immediately. Chiefs going to be a very, very tough opponent to start things off, but no doubt a learning experience for them.
Yeah, it's a very much rough start to both APAC South Life for stage 3 against Knights and now OCN against the Chiefs. For Wildcard, let's go to the map vetoes though. So far we've had Oregon, then Clubhouse, then Chalet,
Oh, what the hell?
we actually get Bank. We actually had a bit of a discussion prior to the stream going live. I think we actually posed the question, what's the best map Wildcard could get? Was it not Bank that we said, Vast?
Yep, it was Bank.
Yeah?
Oh, wow, I am. I'm just excited
guys,
about Bank. What do we even
take the floor?
I don't even know what we expected. It has been so long since we've seen Bank in competitive. It's been well over a year and a bit now, I believe. The one thing that Wildcard have going for them, I mean, actually, no, both teams have it going for them. They've been around for so long. They've both played Bank extensively. I'm just interested to see how the map shapes up. There's been a couple of minor changes here and there that could significantly impact open area in particular, a lot more viable than it was previously as they removed the hatch in the middle of the room. Basement now, there's a bit more variety in your attack approach. Back attacks are probably going to be a little bit more prominent in through Vault. Whichever team, again, has done their homework and has scrimmed on the TTS is really going to benefit here. If teams have put in the hard yards and actually scrimmed on the TS and have adjusted to the map, they could really blow their opponents out of the water. Wildcard, they have a great opportunity here to outclass their opponents if they have done that homework.
Vast, I have to ask you, now of course you can give us your very much unbiased opinion or your biased opinion, but has Wildcard won this map veto?
I actually think they have. I thought that Wildcard would have a chance if they were to take Chiefs to a more even map. And I think Bank is an even map because despite it not really having huge changes, I still think that with Chiefs having to bring in Ethan, they've had to catch up on bringing him, incorporating him. And I think this game will be who's got the most experience on Bank right now.
Do you think that, I guess, maybe the other way to look at it is Chiefs maybe looking to try and get ahead of the competition here, get an early look in to Bank and how it's going to play out? I think I could be wrong here, but I think you guys actually played, say you guys, like you're still on the team, you played Chalet pretty early on as well when it came back into the map pool. So I'll get your final thoughts, but do you buy into that theory at all?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as a new map or a reworked map came out, our thought process was just to play it quickly, and we didn't really want to be the ones that banned it. We wanted everyone else to ban it. So it seems like, you know, the boys have still subscribed to that kind of idea. And to be honest, not too much has changed. When Bank was around, we were actually pretty decent at it. So I wonder if, you know, a lot of those kind of old strats or comfortability will come back.
Final scoreline, if you had to give one, or basically just who do you think is going to win this game?
Chiefs, probably 7-4.
That's pretty respectful. Well, that's going to be match discussion done. Let's head straight over to Bank. Grab your credit cards. Let's swipe. Let's get some money. Guz, can you believe it? We actually got Bank to close out the night for stage 3 of Oceanic Nationals.
I've never been this excited for a game of Bank in my life. It's been so long since I have been excited to watch some Bank. Again, when it was back in the day, towards the end of its life cycle, it was probably one of the most boring maps to watch. Got super stale, but hoping that the rework has spiced it up a little bit. Now, we have seen Bank touched a little bit in Tier 1 at least. EUL played it 3 times in the first Playday. From what I saw, and that was a limited amount. I had to do a shitty unit assignment today, so I didn't have much time.
Oh, excuses already.
There wasn't honestly that much innovation. It looked pretty similar to an old match of Bank. So I'm hoping that these teams, again, spent that time on the TTS to try out something new, bring some innovation into the server. Whichever team can out-innovate and throw off their opponents, likely to win.
Look, I'm going to be also very honest here. I have never seen a game of competitive Bank.
I'm scared. Do you know the map?
Ever.
At least a bit? Or?
Oh yeah, I love actually playing Bank.
Okay,
It's actually one of my favorite maps.
Okay,
and we've had some good times in it as well in our ranked sessions too, so I'm more than okay there. But yeah, it's going to be first for me. Flores taken out, Thatcher, Mirror, pretty standard bans. I mean, the Flores one is the only one I would look at and say, well, is that Bank specific? Is that a player ban sort of thing? And then the Clash is also going to be banned out by Wildcard. But, you know, we don't have much information to really go off, of course. You know, we don't really want to go deep diving into some of the old Bank stats and the old Bank ways of things. This is pretty much like, as you said, new changes. But most importantly, it's been a long time since we've had Bank anyway. So we go into this one with a fresh look into it. Wildcard on the defense first, Chiefs on the attack. And we go into Executive and CEO.
Top floor first. The objective that was one of the last to be innovated upon on the old Bank. In terms of new Bank, in its reworked form, top floor not overly changed. The only major discrepancy to the old map that we're probably going to notice is the fact that lobby, you can't get the same lines of sight from parking across from those huge windows. They have now been boarded up, so you can't sit back and spawn over towards the west and peek in towards the objective itself. So nice quality of life change in terms of how much that's actually going to change up competitive, hard to read into. But I mean, early signs already here from the Goyo and Molosca, those Vulcan shields, placing them to face east. So anticipating a square take here from the Chiefs. Again, being a brand new map, I highly doubt either of these teams have actually scrimmed each other on this map. I mean, that would make no sense. So they don't really know how they're going to approach it. Are the Chiefs going to go for a lobby take, go up banana and go that way, throw off this setup? I don't know. We'll have to see.
HP Omen community vote is in favor of the Chiefs, 82% to 18%. I can agree with that one. That is for sure. Of course, make sure you follow at R6 Esports OCN and at Omen by HP_NZ for tomorrow so that you can vote on the community vote for tomorrow's games. Of course, we are back tomorrow for more OCN action. It'll be myself, Manic, and Vast bringing the action. So lots of excitement, probably very little analysis. Which is kind of like this game, I guess, as well.
Bomb located by attackers.
What do you mean, mate? I'm going to bring hardcore Bank analysis, mate.
Come on.
I've watched thousands of hours of EUL on this map. I'm well equipped. No, I watched about 3 rounds, so feeling ready to go. Pre-placed drone inside of lobby here for the Chiefs, indicating that maybe they'll go for something up banana. The main stairs in that lobby position. I don't mind this setup from Wildcard over towards stock, getting pretty creative there with the 3 ADS devices, the line of sight as well to protect the vault in. As I say that though, ADS devices being juggled currently by Emo. He'll place those inside of the elevator, which has been reworked. It's now the elevator to the west that's open. The awkward vault, I believe, as well has been adjusted a little bit, if not removed. So a bit more comfortable for Vinny to play this position, but still critically important as the Chiefs try to pressure it.
Almost get kind of consulate vibes there for a moment with the rappel looking in through the window. Minute and a half.
Look at that, the dual upside down rappel in lobby. This is nuts.
Digital wanting to push up those lobby stairs. A little bit of a hesitation at the moment, I think, from the Chiefs here on the attack as to how they're going to really push forward. Ethan, quite literally outside. Vinny not giving up his position inside of the elevator, but I think this is right now a win for Wildcard when it comes down to the time. Our favored here with a minute left.
ADS devices cleared, that nade not getting caught, instead taking them out. Now Vinny's in a very compromised position. Fisher still has 2 frag grenades remaining. With those shots raining out, the Chiefs will know that he's in this position. Geo elsewhere though does drop Digital on that conference boost, that long desk boost. Fisher does trade one back, however, leaves it in the 4-on-4, but the Chiefs trying to force themselves up banana. Ethan does get one more. If Vinny loses this fight, it's surely over. Molosca and Pat to hold on.
Yeah, Vinny does lose the fight in the end. Chiefs now completely outnumber Molosca and Pat. Molosca does still have a Nitrocell in his back pocket. The Gas Babe just proving to be enough to hide Ethan for a split second. He swung out. He got the kill. Molosca got a kill back. A lot of damage onto Worthy as well. Fisher guy, though, going to get this plant down. Nitrocell is going to be ripped, but doesn't find the mark. Fuser planted. Molosca now stuck in the hallway position, and he's not going to be able to move much more forward from here.
Transitions over towards the top of wide stairs, but Fisher ready and waiting. His ex-teammate will take him down. clean shot. Bit of a wind-up attack there from the Chiefs, looking to take that banana control, but they made it work with Kanto exposed and the elevator cleared when Vinny was dropped. It was pretty smooth sailing from that point onwards.
Yeah, it took them a little while, I think, though, the Chiefs. In the first minute and a half, it definitely was that sort of slow approach, playing off the rappel game, trying to find a few targets, win a couple of those ones. Wildcard obviously putting a lot of emphasis on Vinny inside of the elevator. Didn't quite work out, and once Chiefs kind of got up above lobby stairs, they basically just overwhelmed Wildcard from there, had that two-man advantage and played it off perfectly. But it is very, I will say this, guys, refreshing to be on a new map. It's kind of like when we first had Chalet come in. It's always exciting. It's always nice. We head down to the basement, though. This is where it does get interesting, whether or not we see too much of a change. Obviously, the vault changes are going to be there. Of course, the parking lot entryway has been opened up slightly as well. I don't think that's going to make too much of a difference, but yeah, whether or not we still see that sort of blue stairs hold. I was watching one of the EUL vaults, and it was very extensive over there as well.
Yeah, now I did hear some pros hypothesize when the map was announced that maybe we'll see some more extensions above and roam games on the downstairs defense. We're yet to really see that come into realization. I'm assuming it's probably going to be a similar case to Clubhouse, where we'll have to wait and see one prominent team in the world, pull it off, and then we'll probably see other teams follow. So at the moment, a little bit more stock standard. Pat with the Tachanka can play Plantinal in combination with Vinny. So I'm not overly interested in what we're going to see here from the defense because it literally looks like year one. I'm keen to see what the Chiefs are going to pull off here on the attack. Will they go for that back push to the west, utilize that new hatch that now drops in towards the vault, or will they go for a blue take server and try and bait out that Plantinal?
On the Jackal. Great map for Jackal as well.
A bomb has been
Actually
located.
surprised it honestly made its way through. Gold Legend can get to work as well, clearing a lot of this. So top-down approach for the Chiefs, not too surprising. More than anything, it's sort of what you mentioned before, whether or not Wildcard or teams playing from down below, would they roam up above? Would they extend above, be aggressive? But it's so far shaping up to be a turtle.
Chiefs, they reading well into that. Really, really quick map control, which is a really positive sign for them. Allows them to open up these hatches quite freely.
Minute and a half remaining here as they eventually get these hatches opened up. You can see the emphasis as well. Wildcard, 2 players over towards the vault area. Geo trying to see if he can get a cheeky little kill as that hatch does get opened up. So far, no real action taking place. Chiefs doing what they need to do, but Wildcard not offering much in way of trying to slow them down.
Geo in classic Pulse fashion can sit in gold. Nitro flies out, hits the mark there onto Worthy. Now keep an eye on Pat. He's playing deep inside of lockers. He can bring out that Shamika launcher, shoot out that fire in towards that default plant position, which will now be a little bit trickier for the Chiefs, being a man down. Fisho will create a crouch hole in towards the objective if he has enough fuel remaining. I think it's going to be tight. He makes his way back up to square. Gold Legion and Ethan meanwhile swinging in towards parking, going for a flank. Molosca there though to greet them, says hello. Shoots out some shots, takes a little bit of damage, but will survive. The Chiefs really struggling now with time against them.
Hatch is trying to also buy quite a lot more time here, trying to deny this entry. Digital, 20 seconds left, and he's not able to make his way in. Ethan, God Legion, both inside of this garage area, coming in at the last second, trying to provide a bit of a flanking opportunity. God Legion does eventually go down. Fisher guy will almost stick that plant, doesn't quite manage it though. Digital, the 1v3. How many times have we seen this happen before? He's found 2. Unfortunately, time not on his side, and Wildcard do defend successfully.
That was, to be brutally honest, that was a really, really disappointing attack there from the Chiefs. They had 2 minutes to work with there. They did a fantastic job gaining map control. They knew top floor was clear, first floor was clear. All they had to do was work the hatches and formulate a plan for the approach to the site. They did try to switch things up a little bit, send 2 players in parking and go for a bit of a flank, try and cut off that cross across red, but didn't really work out. A little bit too awkward for them. Great counterplay from Wildcard. Pat sitting deep on the Tachanka. Wasted a lot of time there on the plant. Early Nitro from Geo as well proved to be really effective in giving his team the man advantage. So, yeah, unfortunate there for the Chiefs. That was honestly just reflective of what a bank blue take kind of entails. It's really not the play. I don't think we're going to see it come back into the meta anytime soon.
We head over to kitchen open area for round 3, or staff open area, however you want to call it. This is probably a site that I would expect Wildcard to play off of a little bit more than sort of the previous 2. Unless they kind of want to continue with this approach of playing it safe. There's nothing wrong with playing it safe, and you know, we kind of, I guess, saw it in that last round, guys, where Wildcard didn't really offer much. They were very defensive, turtle on site, and the Chiefs just couldn't really do anything to punish them.
Yeah. I'm keen to see how aggressive they do play off site here in open area. It is the one objective, arguably, in the rework that offers the biggest window of opportunity for teams to innovate, and if you've done so well really early, it's basically a way to get a free win on the defense if you played it properly. Now, we did see a bit of innovation in sight. Emo Room with a couple of cheeky angles with the Maestro cameras pre-placed to deny that vault-in. Elsewhere, rotations into archives, footholds, over towards, rotation in fact over towards the main stairs. So Wildcard allowed to play quite fluidly here. I don't believe they're playing top floor at all though. But again, with that hatch being taken away, where Gold Legion's at now, down below in towards site, you don't necessarily have to hold above as aggressively as you did previously.
Gold Legion looking to just clear out a few of these electronics now from the second floor. Top down for the Chiefs. That is one thing that they have been good at so far here on Bank, is really clearing a lot of these floors above and then making their way down. Wildcard need to be careful that they do roam out a little bit more here on this open area site. That do be careful with their positioning. Chiefs are quick to get on the move and could catch someone off guard, but haven't really been able to see Wildcard too much here, but they're not offering anything above, like you said.
That does allow Digital, their vert player, to use that sledgehammer to full effect, gain lines of sight down below, and cut off some of these rotations that have been pre-established by Wildcard. Here on the pulse, gaining intel, and Vinny with those black eye cameras seemingly will be able to as well. A lot of work being done here by the Chiefs, no frags to show for it just yet, but the groundwork being put in place for when they go for the execute, they can prevent Wildcard from re-entering site.
Definitely a bit more of an emphasis on Wildcard playing around that sort of Talos Archives area, extending, we'll say, sideways position. Vinny finds himself in an elevator once again. Oh, headshot? No, he missed it all, actually. Ethan, though, was eliminated by Pat elsewhere. Keeps Wildcard with that one-man advantage. 50 seconds left to the round. And rather slow approach again here from the Chiefs. And it's going to come back to bite them with the last 45 seconds ticking down. They haven't really been able to establish too much here. Digital, chance gone begging there from CEO.
Yeah, Pat able to retreat back towards site. Digital chases, but doesn't quite catch him. And I believe Pat now, yeah, inside of E-Box. That's a very difficult position for Digital to read into. No doubt he'll probably walk past that and get flanked late. Fisho, meanwhile, Kit up above. Needs to try and drop down and think about a plan. Gold Legion does find the first for the Chiefs, but Vinny's still inside of elevator, could pose a threat.
Just under 20 seconds left. Digital, though, finds a kill. He's got 3 now entirely in this match. Fisher Guy trying to stick this diffuser down. Vinny finally swings out. Perfectly timed. Fisher Guy tries to do the same, but he walks straight into Vince here. Wildcard take 2 rounds in a row.
A really strong side-base extension there from Wildcard. The Chiefs looking a little bit lost there. They did, again, good job in gaining control up above, and they did establish vert, but they didn't really make it count, unable to find any picks. And then when it came crunch time for the execute, that vert that they established didn't really offer much in being able to prevent those players from getting back in towards the site. Elevator as well, uncontested, and Vinny able to swing through late and find a couple of picks for himself. So a good start for Wildcard. The first 3 rounds, a decent stock take, I think, for them so far. They've shown that, you know, they've done their homework. They've created some decent strats so far that are working out, and they'll be looking to replicate that form here on second floor. Keep in mind, last time they struggled with that lobby take from the Chiefs, and honestly, there's nothing saying that the Chiefs won't change up here and go for square. It's pretty 50-50. You can make either work. So Wildcard need to be careful that they don't invest all their eggs into the basket of expecting a West push again.
And it definitely feels like Wildcard, you know, it's especially the way they played that round, very sort of conserved approach with their roam without extending too far out, kept things pretty close, always had sort of trade partners close by to each other, playing off of each other, but yet still also playing in positions where they could catch members of Chiefs off guard, and it honestly worked out pretty well. Vinny, a couple of times now playing out of that elevator area, whether it's second floor, whether it's first floor, but honestly, I think right now Wildcard just definitely playing the map a little bit better than the Chiefs. Hard to gauge too much, of course. It's only the first half. Wildcard on the defense, Chiefs on the attack, and you know, who knows? Maybe it all sort of plays out the same when we do switch into the second half.
Line of sight there, interestingly enough, in towards square from the A bomb site. I mean, nothing too radical. We have seen that in the past, but again, indicating that Wildcard's spreading their setup to compensate for both pushes, both potential pushes. Early indications from spawn, and their positions would suggest that they'll go for a square push. The Chiefs, that is God Legion. Ooh, looking up blue. Molosca inside of Archives could be an engagement. Oh, elsewhere inside of Open. An engagement ensues as well. Milo looking to prevent the Chiefs from taking free control below.
Good start from Digital. So far in the first couple of rounds. Needs a bit of help, though. All Wildcard in these last two. Much of it, though, has been sort of Wildcard winning these kind of rounds, or maybe Chiefs just being unable to find an avenue of an attack. They definitely don't seem like their usual selves, maybe their usual confident selves on certain other maps. And even if they do sort of succumb here, it's fine. It's experience that they can gather. Worthy, though, does find the opening pick. And it feels like a much-needed one as well for the Chiefs. Minute and a half remaining here in the fourth round, and they capitalize off this pick.
I'm trying to work out where that pick even was. I thought maybe it was the open area window. It could have been stock windows, either way. Maybe even top square. Not sure. Chiefs, they will take control of stock. Ethan looks through the drone hole into Jan to see if he can find anyone. Pat is playing in that position. Close angle. Shotgun likely in hand.
A bomb has been located.
It was in stock.
That's Janet on stock.
No, I'm saying Geo was in stock.
Ah, okay.
God Legion finds a second for the Chiefs. This is much better, though. Something they haven't really been able to do is find these sort of picks early on.
Pat looking to go for a play. Emo Rin does find his mark. Gold Legion down below with Milo down. There's no control there for Wildcard. Emo Rin looking to retake. Over towards airlock. Will push up towards the A bomb site. Finds himself in a very powerful position, but it's vulnerable at the same time. Fisho wallbangs him straight through the wood. Now Vinny in the 1-on-4.
Nice yourself. Might get the player on the window. Doesn't even do that, and I was going to say definitely won't stop that diffuser from being planted. Ethan comes in from behind, puts Vinny out of his misery, and we are tied 2-2 here on Bank.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing there from Wildcard. We've basically now established that top floor is a no-go for them. They failed against the lobby push. They've now failed against the square push, so it doesn't seem like they're comfortable either way, and the Chiefs are reading into them quite well. And again, that's the one objective that's almost completely unchanged in the rework, outside again of those lobby windows being covered now. So a little bit disappointing for Wildcard, but at least they can find comfort in basement. And then for their final defense, they could go back to open area. So not the end of the days, or not the end of the world, rather, for them. And in fact, I mean, a sign of confidence is the fact that they're bringing the same lineup for basement. 2 plant denials, Smoke, Tachanka. Milo can provide coverage with those ADS devices, Kaye to protect hatches, and Geo can play gold. So the Chiefs, they're going to be put on the back foot for this round. It's up to them to innovate and to really refine what we saw compared to last time.
So 2 more rounds to go in this first half, or we can maybe start to gauge a bit more of an idea as to way things are going to play out in the second half. Not a lot of lobby play, in fairness.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
Not a lot of square play either, to be honest, either.
Again, I think it is just going to come down to one team having the confidence and backing themselves in and actually dry running something that's viable, because a roam is still going to be really, really tricky on bank, especially if Jackal's up. It's going to be very, very tough. So, I don't know. I think if we see bank in a year's time, might be a little bit more viable. But for now, Wildcard playing a little bit safe, understandably so. They won it last time with this approach. So there's no real change. There's no real, incentive to change it up that much. Chiefs, of course, they will do their due diligence, go for a top-down take. Digital can work some vert for covering rotations if he so desires. No Jackal being brought, instead Ethan bringing Cap, so can use smokes and fire to cover, particularly in the plant.
So I think that makes sense though, right? Because of the way that Wildcard have sort of been playing this, especially last time on Locker CCTV. If they're not roaming, you don't need it.
You don't need the Jackal. It is really just a safety measure in case there's like one strange roamer on top floor or something. But yeah, not going to be the case.
I was going to say, I only count 4. Emerid just loitering around the parking lot. No roam at all from Wildcard once again. He will stay down below. It's been like this on pretty much every single site. Open area was the only one that was kind of extended out a little bit. Wildcard are keeping it safe. Too crazy. It does mean Chiefs have got a lot of time, but it also means the Chiefs need to make sure they don't fall into the same trap that they did in the second round at Wildcards, where it was very one-dimensional and not the best attack.
Minute 25 remaining as the hatch is now being confirmed by the Chiefs. Fisher, interestingly enough, will attempt to use his blowtorch to open the newly positioned hatch in the lobby. That could facilitate push from behind. That will compromise Geo's position and Vinny as well if they still sit here. Pat will send out the first of his Shamika launch charges. Perfectly placed there. I believe it's bouncing off the top of that exit sign in towards the default plant. Gold Legion pinching from main stairs, and it is a very similar setup here from the Chiefs. They need to start burning out more of this utility though if they want to think about getting the plant down.
Probably need to also just speed up the process here as well, because last time the clock really did get away from them. Gas Babes going out, trying to deny the Chiefs from making their way in. 35 seconds remaining on the clock, and Fisher Guy has actually established a bit of a position here to get this diffuser down. 2 more seconds. Nitro Assault from Jero hits the mark. Stops that diffuser. There were a few kills that did go in favor of the Chiefs, and it continues. Gold Legion's got 3. Vinny, though, with a big shutdown onto Worthy. Makes it a 3 versus 2 under 20 seconds left.
No more plant denial remaining. No smoke babes, no C4. They need to try and rotate now. Reposition themselves. Vinny looking to reclaim long as Ethan will stick the plant. Gold Legion covering the cross down to Geo. Narrowly misses the second, but Vinny under so much pressure will eventually find that kill, but not really in a position to go for the res. May well think that back. Go to his left and pick up
He can
Geo.
get it.
Try and bring this back to a 2 versus 2. HP advantage though. Positional advantage. Well and truly towards the Chiefs.
Well, this is the thing. You get Geo back up. That's, in my opinion, probably the right play here, but it does allow Digital to sort of rotate away. He's got, as you said, that positional advantage now. Both of them, Digital and Ethan. Now, Digital's been in this sort of position how many times? Same with Ethan. I don't see a way that Wildcard's going to be able to bring this one back. Ethan with the kill on to Geo, who was, of course, low health. And unfortunately for Vince, yeah, it's all too little too late. He did get the kill onto Digital, but he was never going to be able to get the one onto Ethan, and he ran out of time as well. Chiefs making it back here on bank 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah, much cleaner there from the Chiefs, able to find critical picks to open up that round a little bit more, give them the freedom to get that plant down on their terms, and then in the post plant, really, really well played. Great discipline from both Digital and Ethan. They were just ready and waiting for their opponents to retake above. They were forced to retake above in the end. Valiant effort from Vinny, finding a little bit of form in this round, but yeah, not quite enough.
Got to say as well, guys, probably not ideal that we're seeing a lot of the
We were,
for a
we
second.
were in the corner. Hello.
It definitely feels like bank basement is.
Yeah, dude, I'm not gonna lie. This has been boring to watch. These basement attacks, man. They are the exact
Not
same as
offering
they used
much.
to be. Nah.
Attackers need to locate
Nope.
as many bombs as
But again,
Well-
it's gonna take time for it to end.
Yeah.
So.
I was going to say whether that changes obviously remains to be seen. I think you also have to remember you're going to play it somewhat safe, right? Teams still need a bit more time to maybe try and innovate from some of the changes. But for right now, it's, yeah, kind of same old, which is definitely paying off for the Chiefs. Up 3-2. Final round of the opening half here. Final game of the day for Playday 1 of OCN Stage 3.
What has been more exciting, though, is definitely these open area holds, not only in EUL, but in this match, in OCN. We are seeing some innovation from Wildcard, the sideways extension, whilst being arguably aggressive in terms of the footprint they're taking, actually being quite a conservative approach in the fact that they're not willing to take all that many risks. They're not trying to take on as many 1v1s as possible, instead just looking to wither the time of the Chiefs, prevent them from gaining that control sideways. So we may see the Chiefs actually change things up here, maybe go for Vert, instead get that control above and see what they can do with that. Digital's pathing would suggest that could be the play. Keen to see if it works out.
An opportunity for the Chiefs to hand a 2-round advantage here going into the second half, and then they can switch onto the defense. That's the other part as well, is sometimes it comes down to team sort of differences, I guess, whether or not the Chiefs maybe will look at basement, adjust and innovate it a little bit more than Wildcard. So it's always hard to sort of draw a conclusion and be like, oh, Wildcard played it this way, that's how everyone's going to play it, but we definitely estimate it could end up being rather similar. Ethan, though, this time around bringing the Jackal, and this time around it's going to be far more effective than had it been in the last round. Obviously, as you said, open area, seeing a little bit more of a roam from Wildcard. Nothing too crazy, but footsteps to be found.
Velcam up above for the pre-placed Nitro Soul, but it doesn't find its mark there onto Digital, who's playing safe on the concrete near front desk. Still establishing Vert in towards that position, down in towards Archives and Tellers, putting both Pat and Milo under some perceived pressure, forcing the rotation. Oh, Digital find the kill clean there onto Milo. That's a nice opening pick. The Vigil taken off the board, and that relieves some of the pressure now. Any potential roam from Wildcard.
Oh, nice Nitrocell from Geo. Picks out Digital, who's been honestly amongst it so far in this match. Just under a minute left. Now it's a 4 versus 4. Well, Legion going down blue stairs. He's got the ping, he's got the information. He finds the kill. He does. Pat eventually goes down. Imran's down too elsewhere, and suddenly, in the span of about 3 seconds, guys, it's now 4 versus 2 in favor of the Chiefs with 35 seconds left.
Vinny going for the flank though up top blue. Digital, the only person on drones, doesn't look like he has one. Vinny swings wide, doesn't win the fight!
Oh, no.
You have to win those, Vinny. Gets shut down. Now Gio on the 1v4.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. If he wins that as well, it's a 2-3 sort of situation. Time is low. Gio ends up getting this kill. Unfortunately, though, running out of teammates, maybe running out of rounds. It's a 4-2 opening half to the Chiefs.
Well, it's a slightly reworked map and a slightly reworked roster in the Chiefs. Roster, God, couldn't even get that out. But it seems to be working wonders. There you go. There's the W I was looking for. Ethan going 7-2 so far. An impressive performance from him, playing that entry role on the Jackal in particular. Able to gain really good map control, and the rest of the team playing off that nicely. But that's the attack done. We transfer over towards the defense, and much like their counterparts in Wildcard, the Chiefs will attempt top floor first. We didn't see it defended successfully at all by Wildcard, but maybe Chiefs can turn that fortune around.
Yeah, and obviously, as I sort of alluded to early on in the first half, it's hard to gauge too much. First time seeing Bank, obviously, so it's hard to sit back and say, well, you know, Chiefs are running away with this or anything like that. We need to see the second half. Hard to also honestly gauge whether, you know, sort of defender side, attacker side, and if there's any influence on the side at all. I definitely think the way that Wildcard played, though, they played it pretty conservative for the most part. Only really open area stuff that they actually sort of expand out and extend a little bit horizontally. But outside of that, it was basically turtle on site and hope for the best.
Habana positioned on the west rappel here of lobby, suggesting that maybe Wildcard will go for Kanto control. As I say that, Vinny actually ends up getting a pick, so that's Ethan taken down. Don't know where that was. Yeah, no idea. Must have been either lobby or banana. Can't quite tell. Either way, though, that is Ethan taken off the board. No smokes available for the remainder of the round.
Nice start, though, to the second half for Wildcard. Remember, this is a team that got absolutely demolished yesterday against the Knights 7-1 in APAC South. They would be wanting to find some form here at OCN, turn their fortunes around. It's been a rough few months. It's been a rough year, basically. Power the exothermic charge. That one is successful. Opening up these square walls. Minute and a half, though, and they've still got this man advantage opening up these walls. This, right now, is fine from Wildcard. Oh, never mind.
Say that, but Worthy from down below will hit the Nitro cell as Pat was frantically trying to open up that wall open, covered by the mute jammer, placed down by Fisho Guy. Very classic bank so far, really. Wildcard trying to take control of square. They have members on the rappel, cutting off those rotations back towards side and in between the objectives. Digital will conveniently relocate that Yokai drone playing in the elevator of all places downstairs. A little bit peculiar. But nice little shelter for him. Incentive, though, on Wildcard here to really make something happen.
Are they, like, completely stalled out right now? I mean, Diffuser
like
down. They have seemingly pulled away from certain positions and now trying to reconvene. There's only under 40 seconds remaining. This seems like it's in the favor of the Chiefs.
It is a 4v4, though, so they could trade it out, but Worthy inside of open area, unaccounted for there by Wildcard, shuts down Geo, and now the Chiefs should be able to claim the round.
Get tough from here. Vinny's completely pinned down as well.
15 seconds left.
Time completely against Wildcard. Imran did eventually rotate over to the square walls, pick up that diffuser that was originally dropped. He's just going to try and plant it. Veloska's dead, though. Vinny doing a decent job, and Imran might be able to get this diffuser down, but he will now find himself in a 1 versus 3. The diffuser down. It's so much more to do now from this position. Does get one. He might have found a second. Wouldn't have mattered. They both tag team Tim, God Legion, and Fisher Guy. Diffuse will be counter diffused. It's now 5-2 to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I've seen Emo bring back worse positions, to be honest, so it was really well played there by the Chiefs to just pause. You saw Fisho didn't aggress over towards square. The other two teammates didn't engage by themselves. They all waited, ready, set, go, boom. And yes, one person died, but the immediate retrade there from the Chiefs was absolutely spot on. Really well played there by Worthy. Impactful in that round. Got the C4 pick. Also got the lurk pick inside of open area. Opened up the round for the defense. And the Chiefs slowly looking like they might be able to run away with this game. I still think we need to see at least one more objective, one successfully, and that match point claimed. And then it starts to become a bit more of a realization that the Chiefs are the better team at the end of the day.
4 in a row now, though, so at what point do you say they're running away with it? Because I think they were already kind of running away with it. You've got to remember that it was Wildcard who originally were up 2-1 off the back of the opening 3 rounds. And yeah, well, since then it's been all Chiefs, and this is probably what we would have expected coming into this game, even though it is on Bank. You know, when we spoke about if there was going to be a map that Wildcard probably wanted, it would be Bank, and yet it's still playing out in Chiefs' favor. For the first time, though, guys, we do head over to Talon's Archives. This is actually the first time we're going to see it here tonight.
Yeah, and so far this evening, we haven't seen teams be too ambitious with their extensions vertically. They've mostly been horizontal extensions, so we might see the Chiefs play into that philosophy and extend into open area. But as I say that, investment in utility up above with castle barricades, etc., may actually indicate that we will see CEO, front desk, etc. held up above here by the Chiefs. They have plenty of aggressive operators to frag out and facilitate that playstyle, so we'll have to see whether or not that does actually pay off. And what the approach will be here from Wildcard, do they contest up above? Do they try and go open area across? There are a couple of different routes they could consider, but I think it's important that we just see them play off one another. I mean, at the end of the day, that is the best way to go about things. Just be synced on a plan and make sure you can try and execute that to the best of your ability.
Detected.
Crucial round here for Wildcard, though. They cannot allow Chiefs to go up 6-2 and get 4 match points. Would basically be a nail in the coffin. I don't think Wildcard has been terrible in this game, though, guys. In this match, done some decent things. Vinny has been thereabouts, up to 8 kills now for the team. Top fragging. Finds yet another pick. They just not have been capable of really closing out any of these rounds. Digital with a Nitrocell elimination onto Pat. Immediately makes it 4 versus 4. Ties it up again.
Wildcard looking to get a foothold in above here, but Ethan potentially causing some issues playing behind the couch. Flashes rain out though. Vinny still contesting that rappel.
Wow.
Where they eventually find that pick. Thinks about reclaiming the position behind that deployable shield, watching in towards square, but instead will go for the percentage play, rotate over towards the A-bomb side inside of Tal's office. And a very well-measured play at that. Chiefs with the man advantage, are looking to close out this round. Emo up above. Molosca as well on the vert. Wildcard desperately looking to crawl something back here, but Worthy doubles down on the pain. And things start to look pretty grim.
And I was about to say maybe that the Chiefs seemingly had all sort of fallen back to sight, that they could have given up vert control to Wildcard, but that C4 basically puts an end to this one now. 40 seconds left. Digital playing at bottom square here on the first floor. He's got a good little angle here, although misses a few shots. Bit of a whiff from Digital. Giro will punish him. Allows them to push down, although Worthy covering. He's got 3 in the round. At stage 1, MVP Worthy showing up here for the Chiefs. After what has been a bit of a quiet game from him this round, he has been immense. And they're going to need him maybe to be immense to finish off Geo. He still has Ethan, who's 7-3-2, just quietly having a big performance. Geo will get this diffuser down. Never mind, even though he does, Ethan just sweeps across, gets the kill. He'll get the counter defuse. Chiefs will get match point.
Clean-up work there from Ethan is successful, able to claim the round for his team. Good presence up above there from the Chiefs, able to bleed out time and resources there from Wildcard, who do, unfortunately, look a little bit lost here on Bank. I know it's a big map, but they seem to have forgotten the map themselves, I guess. Got that in the inventory, and yeah, looking a little bit lost at the moment, but yeah, I think that's what we've probably come to expect heading into this matchup. The Chiefs much more refined at the moment, and Wildcard still finding their feet.
Yeah, this has basically gone the way we kind of expected it. The start was fun. The start almost kind of was like Wildcard evolved for a brief moment in time, but yeah, what's that now? 5 rounds in a row to the Chiefs, and probably highlighting that defense has been even stronger than maybe even some of their attacking rounds. They've looked pretty clean defensively. In fairness, they also looked pretty good on the offense. And to complete the World Tour, for what would also be a 7-2 victory, we head down to Lockers and CCTV for what could be the final round of the night.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree with you. I feel like the first couple of rounds were pretty hype, pretty exciting siege, and it's kind of fizzled out a little bit from that point onwards. And I mean, that's probably, yeah, what we expected at the end of the day. The Chiefs is a little bit more experienced and in better form at the moment. So the anticipated result heading into this one seems to be playing out. But maybe Wildcard can bring this back slowly. Basement attack will be no easy feat. And the Chiefs actually, here we go, they're roaming. So yeah. The hatch has been opened up. Gold Legion top floor, Ethan as well on first floor, using that super shorty to open up different angles and different rotations. So I am just super excited to see if the Chiefs can pull this off, because we didn't see Wildcard attempt it. And Vinny, again, opening pick. Is it on the same rappel? It is. So that is like, what, 3 rounds in a row on this rappel? He's on the opening kill. That's a little bit ridiculous. The Chiefs definitely making some pretty critical mistakes in that department. Completely falling apart there, but just like every other round, they'll look to bring it back. Milo, though, finds a second.
Yeah, this is a really good observation that you found there, because what it also do is I don't think we'll give a fair representation of what this room could have been.
Yep.
You lose God Legion immediately, he's on the Vigil. Now Worthy, you know, both of those two going down basically spells disaster. For the final 3 players, you almost have to give up on the roam at this point, go back down and see if you can hold, but by doing that, you already concede. I would almost like to see them just repeat again and for once maybe not die to Vinny inside of 5 seconds.
Yeah, wouldn't be a bad strat. Milo, hungry for blood, finds a second in this round.
Yeah, this is over, this round.
Maybe Digital can pull off a miracle. One of the best players in the region, but no. Shut down. Good night. Good show. The 1 on 5. Wow. Also taken out. It's flawless for Wildcard, and the roam might not be the play.
Well, I mean, again, as I said, it's...
I hope not.
it's difficult. I would definitely give that one more go and say, all right, let's not die to Vinny immediately. They may also say, you know what, we gave it a go. Did not work out horribly. They know what they could. Maybe you've got that VOD now, right? You can look at that. Let's not show anymore. We'll use that in the future. Let's just go and finish this off.
It's probably the right idea. It is an interesting point you bring up, though. Like, I'm honestly surprised that the Chiefs have actually even let this map through, right? Because the Apex South teams now have something to go off on this map. Didn't get played yesterday. No reason why it might not get played next week, but maybe the Chiefs just back themselves in. And honestly, for the most part, I mean, yes, there has been a little bit of innovation here and there. It's playing out very, very similar to Old Bank in many respects. So I don't think the Chiefs are giving away all that much.
This is the thing, though. Chiefs actually were the first team to play Chalet in OCN, and they were the first team to play Chalet in Apex South when it came into the map pool. And now they're the first team to also play Bank. So I think they've got this history to obviously play these new maps early, which helps them. You know, we think back to the Stage 2 playoffs, and one thing that we were able to, you know, credit them for was their really large map pool. This is how you get that large map pool. You play these maps, and that's exactly what Bliss did earlier on tonight, where, you know, they played a map that they didn't really play much of in Stage 2.
100%. 2 really nice pre-play strains there as well from Wildcard inside of lobby. Would maybe indicate that we'll see Vinny once again go for that repel and apply some early round pressure. The rest of the team spawning over towards the east, though, and Geo likely to make his way up blue, indicating that a square take will be the play. Tell you what, if Vinny repels here on lobby and finds another free kill, I am going home.
Bomb located by
It's
attack.
calling early.
Yeah. Can we just spectate Vinny just for like the entirety of like, the first minute of this round? I want to see how he's getting these free kills because it's a little bit ridiculous.
Also, if you want a fun fact, guys, provided this does end before, say, 7-5, Overt will find themselves in a playoff position after Playday 1.
That's probably one of the worst fun facts you've ever had. But...
And Wildcard will be below Rhythm.
Oh, Wildcard. Does that mean Wildcard are relegated? Confirmed?
Well, there's 6 more weeks, but, 6 more Playdays, but...
Yeah.
You know,
We'll run with it. What a storyline that would be.
it is definitely one to follow throughout Stage 3. Of course, Wildcard, Rhythm, what happens there? How does Overt go? There's so many different storylines. Team Bliss, do they shake off the playoff jitters that's plagued them?
Sorry to interrupt. I mean, you're going on a really good spiel here about storylines. But we're a minute 30 into this round. What
Nothing's
have Wildcard achieved? Literally nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. They're going for a 3-man or 2-man repel at least here on the north. Yet to gain control of Square. Stock's being held by Worthy. They haven't contested that. Vinny hasn't gotten his free pick. And Kanto's... It's not really going to be an angle they can create. This is a really, really bad position that Wildcard find themselves in.
Shapes up for what could be eventually a very one-dimensional kind of attack that Chiefs will be able to snuff out late into the round. Minute left. Well, still match point. Pat 1 and 7. Rough on the hard breach in this game. Worthy getting a little bit aggressive inside of Stock.
Needs to be careful that he doesn't drop. Oh, ADS will save his life. I'm choking as he almost did. Jesus. Worthy though holds the angle, swings wide, finds one. Imarin taken off the board, no Maverick available for the rest of this round, and that's 2 nades no longer available for Wildcard. 25 seconds left, and the push
Pat's
will come
in though.
through.
Oh, never mind. Pat's dead though. They're all going to probably die at this point, and they certainly are. Geo trying his best. Unfortunately, though, to 1 versus 4. Well, this game certainly got away from Wildcard. They had a decent start, but the Chiefs put a stop to it. They put the foot on the throat. They got the job done, and they pick up right where they left off, and that is with a dub in OCN. Digit's happy. The whole crew is happy. Not too many smiles from Ethan. He knows it's only Playday 1. Don't need to get too excited, but the Chiefs continue their winning ways.
Yeah, they just got the job done. It was a pretty hectic start to Bank. It was exciting. We saw some pretty exciting siege across the board from both teams, but it really did fizzle out. The Chiefs outclassing their opponents, and that last round in particular, oh, that was really, really rough for Wildcard. Really, really, really difficult to watch. So look, I'm sure they'll go back, watch the VOD, and look to improve a couple of things. But yeah, the Chiefs, the back-to-back champs,
Yep.
They're off to a good start.
And we come back to our lovely desk. Vast, of course, big win for your old team. It was a little shaky, though, at the start, the first couple of rounds. What was going through your head when Wildcard got out to a 2-1 lead?
I mean, I wasn't too worried. Like, you know, I knew that the boys usually start off slow, but I wasn't too worried about the scoreline.
Was it anything that, I guess, in the way the game was being played that stood out to you, or the fact that it was basically almost same old Bank, was that expected on your part, Vast?
Yeah, I wasn't really sure what to expect. It was kind of nice seeing a lot of the old strats. I was hoping to see a bit more different stuff. It was cool to see Wildcard's open area defense. Yeah, I just think this game was pretty stock standard. Chiefs played exactly how I imagined them to play. Wildcard, yeah, they looked, I don't know, pretty shaky.
It was a good start, guys, but ultimately Chiefs got on a bit of a roll. They won 5 in a row before eventually closing it out. 7-3, probably the scoreline this game did deserve. Bank, we're going to need to see it a few more times, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm keen to see that basement roam explored a little bit more by the Chiefs and see if that's going to be more viable because, yeah, like you mentioned, they basically threw the round in the first 30 seconds, so it didn't give a good read. On the flip side, I do think that the attacking half from Wildcard really, really exposed some of the issues that they are probably experiencing at the moment. They were getting stalled out constantly. The attacks are a little bit one-dimensional, were never really going to work out. You can cover those errors and those mistakes and those pitfalls a little bit better on the defense, and they managed to do that in the first couple of rounds, but yeah, they got exposed in that second half, and yeah, they definitely need to go back on the drawing board, back to the drawing board.
Ethan with a 2.112 player rating, 10-4, minus
2.112.
2.1. It's been a long, long day, guys. Thank you. 2.12. Minus 2 on the entry, though, but honestly, really impressive. Again, without really being, I don't know, the overarching force of the team, Vast, Ethan just quietly gets it done in the background.
Yeah, Ethan, Worthy, and God Legion had a really good game. I mean, everyone on the Chiefs had a really good game. As you see on the stats, the kills are quite evenly spread. And just watching them, they all looked like they were in unison. They had a clear goal of what they wanted to do during the round, and all the players were working towards that goal.
Certainly so for Wildcard, Geo, Vinny, probably the two clear standouts. I think half of Vinny's 8 kills came from that rappel cards, which I'm surprised happened so many times in a row. Ultimately, though, I mean, really, we just put this one down. A job done for the Chiefs more than anything.
Yeah, the expectation heading into this one was a Chiefs win. We all predicted them. We know that Wildcard is still a long way off their previous best selves, so maybe a little bit disappointing in the fashion that it occurred and the fact that Wildcard's attacks were really, really shaky. I probably didn't expect them to be quite that bad, but hey, at the end of the day, expected result. Chiefs will be very, very happy with that, no doubt.
Certainly probably not the kind of game we expect the flamethrower to come out from Digital. Let's go and have a chat with the ever-lovable from the Chiefs. Congratulations on the win. Pretty stock standard kind of game. I do have to say, though, heading over to Bank, I'm personally not surprised. You guys were the first team in OCN to go to Chalet. You're the first team to now go to Bank. It's just your mantra, isn't it? You guys just want to get in and get dirty with it.
Yeah, I don't know. We're not shy from playing the new maps. So, yeah, no, Bank was was refreshing. It was cool to see, it back in after so many years. Yeah, it felt nice.
Yeah, look, I'll be honest, dude, nothing really stood out to me as being that crazy tonight. So I'm going to pose a fun question to you. Why'd you drop Vast? Was it because of his Siege GG rating in Stage 2?
Answer this very carefully, Digital.
Vast left the team. I can't do it while he's right here, guys. Solely his decision. Him stepping down. Yeah. How are you, mate? It's been a while. Not long, but
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I guess I want to talk about Ethan. I mean, he looked a lot more like himself, like the old Ethan would expect. Obviously, there's, a lot more for him to learn, and, it's still going to take time to incorporate him. But how are you guys kind of feeling with him?
It's good. It's he's slotted in perfectly. It's like he's been playing comp the whole time. I think for the past, previous to him joining now, he was still sort of watching Pro League and sort of integrating himself back into the scene and into the meta. There hasn't been any really humps or anything. It's been really, really, really smooth. And he played really well today, so it was good to see.
Give you the floor, mate. Shout outs, thank yous, all of the usuals.
Shout out to the fans, shout out to Chiefs, everyone watching. I do have one thing to say, is that if the people out there are looking for a free $1,000 or a chance to win a Bitcoin, head over to Chiefs' Twitter page and enter in the latest giveaway for a chance to win $1,000 and a Bitcoin.
Is that a Manic Monday with the plug there? Jeez.
That wasn't bad. I mean, I'm going to go straight onto the Twitters.
Lastly, before I let you go, did you catch any of Vast tonight?
What do you mean?
As in, did you watch any of the broadcasts, see how he went, or are you going to maybe watch it back and see how he...
I was messaging him. I think he's been an excellent addition. Hoping to see him maybe into some South APAC. That'd be awesome as well. I think it's healthy for the broadcast team and for you guys to get some ex-pros in. Gives good insight. So it's been well.
Yeah, certainly it's great to have someone on the team that knows what they're talking about. Thank you very much, Digital.
Absolutely.
And likely we'll have a chat with you tomorrow.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Always great to chat with Digital. We tend to do it quite often, Guz, because Chiefs just tend to win.
Yeah, always good to have a chat with Dig. I'm glad we finally clarified why Vast was dropped. I mean, why Vast left the roster on his own accord. Really good to get that insight. But yeah, like I said, honestly, that was a pretty straightforward game of Bank. A little bit disappointed we didn't see more innovation, but we did see a little bit of it here and there. And like I said, I think as the map develops, particularly at a high level at Tier 1, we'll see some of that filter down. Yeah, basically. Got to say, 7-3, that was basically as straightforward as we could have got it. In fact, tonight really was quite straightforward. Vast, there was probably only one real upset, not just for the fact it was a win, but the scoreline. The Rafflecopter 7-2 over Order is what I'm referring to.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to put Ruffle. I was going to predict them. And yeah, I mean, now I know not to doubt Wettables and Kaken ever again. But they played a really good game, and it's not that I didn't think that they could do that. As I said before, it was just the roster changes. I wasn't too sure what it was going to look like this early in the season.
In fairness, guys, the other results, I mean, 7-5 for Knights Overt, that's not too bad. We maybe didn't expect it to be that close, and then I guess the same can be said for Bliss and Rhythm. Yeah, both Overt and Rhythm, I would say probably Overt even more so deserving of actually claiming at least 1 point tonight. They did a great job up against the Knights, and it was just one very small thing, Juicy on Monty, I believe, that really, really screwed them over in the end. If it wasn't for that adaptation from the Knights, Overt honestly probably had a really good chance of taking that map. In terms of Rhythm Bliss, unfortunate there for Rhythm, again, another 5-7 loss, and then that final result we just saw Chiefs pretty expected. Have a look at the predictions, and lo and behold, I'm in first, Manic's in last. That's the order restored. The rest doesn't really matter. But look, honestly, this basically shows mostly no one gave Rafflecopter a chance. I mean, Vast is already on the caster bandwagon where he's like, oh, well, I would have picked them or I was going to pick them.
It's definitely a Matic statement.
And he's already fitting in. But guys, look, this is the way we sort of thought it would play out. And for the most part, it did.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't really know much more to say. It was expected, most of the results. In terms of, again, Knights overt a little bit closer than maybe we anticipated, and Raffle, those roster changes, maybe, you know, for the better. That seemed to work out, and Order, despite a good night last night over in APAC South, unable to 1-for-1 transfer that form across to OCN.
It's not easy to predict, though, Oda, honestly. Oda? I said Oda Vast because, well, you know what? It's not easy to predict. It's also apparently not easy to speak. Let's go to our MVP of the night. I already spoiled it. It's Oda. Vast, I want to get your thoughts on this. He had an amazing game. 3.25 KD ratio. I don't think anyone else really came close.
Yeah, I mean, he's not the first player you would think would, you know, be the standout player on Team Bliss, but it is good to see that when Jigsaw isn't having his best game, when Repix isn't having his best game, that Oda can step up when his team needs him to.
Yeah, that's probably the makeup of Bliss, guys, really in a nutshell, that, you know, if it's not Jigsaw, it's Oda. If it's not Oda, it's Repix. If it's not Repix, it's Todd, you know, and it just continues on as a team. They are all collectively capable of standing up. It just so happened to be Oda this time.
Yeah, the one thing I really liked watching Oda tonight is he never really was scared to go for a play, and there were multiple instances where he facilitated big plays. Like, he had to man up, you know, drink that confidence pill and go, I really need to back myself in, go for this play. If I don't, I'm probably not going to win the round. And on most occasions, he pulled it off. That's why his KD was so strong. He posted those stats on the board, and honestly, if he didn't show up, thinking about it now, Bliss probably would have been in a lot of trouble. Repix wasn't on his best form. Jigsaw as well, pretty quiet. I don't know how much of that may have been Oda, you know, quote unquote, taking those kills, but like I said, he was playing very opportunistically, and yeah, paid off.
I don't know where you're going with these pills, guys. I just don't know. Drinking pills, mate, come on, cut it out. Vast, obviously, Oda, great player. Bliss, great team. Obviously, though, they're a team that we need to get answers from them come playoff time more than anything. Obviously, for Team Bliss, that's the main makeshift of it, is that can they get it done come playoff time? They only just barely got it done against Rhythm in the best of ones. Is that somewhat of a blip? At least, oh my god, I've just completely... Is that somewhat of a blip, you think, on the reputation of Bliss already to start the stage, that, you know, they can be beaten in best of ones, that they're not going to be able to maybe go first place again and make a grand final again, that they can be beaten?
I think they have the right attitude with their approach this season. If it is the case that they're trying to be, you know, take a chance on playing maps they're not really comfortable on, I think for the long term, it will only better them. And yeah, it's good to see that they're kind of taking risk and going out of their comfort zone.
That's true, guys. I mean, I was the one that actually sort of brought that up originally, was that if you are going to see Bliss be a team that can actually go and take that next step, win that grand final, it is to go out of their comfort zone a little bit, go to some different maps, play a different sort of style, make some new innovative strategies. That's why they got Spruce on board. Let's go and have a look at the standings and see how things do shape up after the first play day. And again, sort of going back to the way we spoke about the predictions and such, no real surprises with any of this. It's everyone on 3 points.
Except for Overt being second. That's
oh yeah, that's
a little bit unexpected, but
I don't know how they've managed that one.
Take them out of the equation, put them in the bottom four, and it's an even split as there was no overtimes played tonight, so everyone earned 3 points if they won, 0 if they lost. And again, in terms of the split, pretty much what we expected outside of Ruffle getting their dub.
Yeah, hard to really speak too much about this. It's always difficult on Playday 1 though, I guess. But Vast, if anything that you've seen today that, I guess, looking forward for the rest of the stage, is there absolutely anything that has piqued your interest, whether it's Avert's performance, Rhythm's performance, anything that makes you sit up and go, hey, I wasn't expecting this maybe coming into this stage?
I think every game went how it should have been, as we talked about before. But I think Ruffle is... I think Ruffle surprised me the most tonight, and yeah, I'm excited to see, you know, if they can carry this performance onto the other teams. You know, I think a big test will be, can they carry it towards, you know, Knights, Chiefs, you know, Wildcard, Bliss,
Guz, your final thoughts and maybe any sort of surprises that have come out of Playday 1?
Nothing too wild. Again, I'll just back up fast and say that Ruffles' performance tonight was quite impressive. We did fortunately get to see Bank brought out. Maybe not as much of a wild shape up to maybe what I was anticipating, but again, the foundation has been laid for some further innovation there. So hopefully we get to see that played a little bit more. We might even see Coast tomorrow night as well to shift things up. But yeah, another fun night of OC Siege, and I look forward to watching you two clowns go at it. So not you guys, you're not the clown. Yeah, you and Matic, the two clowns, go at it tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night's going to be a lot of fun. We've got some great games. It should be, I would say, a little bit more difficult to predict. At least I hope so. You can join me, Vast, and of course Manic Monday tomorrow night for some more OCN action. That's us done though for Play Day 1. We'll see you tomorrow.
One in Harry Potter. Haywood finds one, but it's a great swing from Edpan.
Edpan covers. It's a quad now for the round. But the plan did not go down. Juicy to maybe salvage this for the Knights of the Twin. With his low health and Elements. The 3 versus 3 down. Elements, he will finish off Sage. He does get the second 1-3 for the round. Josh, though, now in a 1 versus 1. Expecting Order to take out this round. The Rocket Cop to turn around their fortunes. Kaken, bit of a slow start here at OCN, but what a way to make your entry.
Wedables initiates things, finds Nate, forces the drop inside of Logi. Wedables swings. Wedables will find those picks. The rest cleaned up by the rest of the team. What a half that was.
Kaken plant down. He just has to play off of it. Noise from Nate. Trying to bait him. Knows where he is. What a shot from Nate.
It's too late though.
Doesn't have the time. Wow, but it's unable to find anything. That's the Yokai drone being successful onto Novaex. The time, it's pretty close. I don't know if he's got this. He doesn't. Wait, Rhythm's still on the round end. Wait, hang on. Hang on, how much time did he have? How much time on the kills there?
Can we get a replay?
We need a slow motion replay.
Yeah.
I'm running out of time. I'm running out of money on a feeling song. I'm running out of time. to leave it all behind. Promises are red.